All right, welcome to Halftime Girl. I'm Tajane, and this episode is called The Sea of Stagnation. Now, the Sea of Stagnation is that space between the dreams you used to have and not knowing exactly what comes next. For a long time, I was actually stuck there myself, and if you've ever felt that way, just know you're not alone. Before he was a Super Bowl MVP, and before he led the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner was working the night shift at a grocery store, stocking shelves for $5.50 an hour. He was undrafted, cut from the Packers before he could even play a snap. And it would actually be 5 years before the NFL and the St. Louis Rams came knocking on his door. And when they did, he showed up and he shocked the world. But what about those 5 years before the lights? That right there, that waiting room, that is the Sea of Stagnation. It's one of those chapters in life that doesn't really feel exciting while you're living it, but later you realize it was actually essential for the story to unfold. And I know it pretty well. It's where I found myself not too long ago. Just floating. Not quite drowning, but definitely not moving forward. I had ideas, sure, but I had no traction. Some kind of vision, but not really any momentum. And the most frustrating part about it was that probably from the outside, it looked like I had it all together. Like I had it all figured out. But inside, I was stuck in the silent war between my potential and my paralysis. And I started feeling adrift, like my life was paused while the rest of the world kept going. As if I was stuck on a page I didn't quite really know how to turn. So I started asking myself questions like, well, damn, is it too late? Did I miss my moment? Was that it for me? But here's the truth that's kind of always easy to forget when you're stuck in the sea. Stillness isn't always a sign of failure. Sometimes it's preparation. And it could be preparation for your next big thing, whether it's a new job, a relationship, or just, your passion project. For me, it was preparation for this podcast. Only I didn't even know it yet. I was stuck for years, feeling regret over choices I didn't really have the guts to choose. Confusion over how I even ended up in this position in the first place. And then also just continuously comparing my journey to those of people around me. And it went on and on while I kind of just kept floating until finally it clicked into place that I couldn't do it anymore. Something had to shift. Sometimes those periods feel like chapters you wish you could skip. But in reality, you really sit back and think on it, they're laying the groundwork for the chapters ahead. It's a hard thing coming to terms with the fact that you've hit a wall. That the big dreams you once had didn't pan out the way that you thought they would. Life pivots, expectations change, and pressure builds. And you end up changing too, caught up in all the factors around you. And when you finally think about going back to the big dream, you have that fear of starting over again, right? Or you have like that little voice whispering, oh, but wait. And you start constantly fretting and thinking and overthinking about all the little things being perfect. You kind of start to grieve over that past version of yourself that didn't truly get a chance to shine the way you really wanted it to. And you start feeling like you're falling behind. But you're not behind. You're at halftime. And halftime isn't a crisis. It's a reintroduction. Halftime is your moment to reset, recenter, and get back in the game. So, here's what I learned and what helped me when I thought I was going under. I realized that I was waiting for someone to give me permission to chase my dreams. Like I needed a coach to say, go. But the thing is, I'm not that girl anymore. And no one's coming to give me the okay but me. For me, that's where faith kicks in. Trusting myself. And I'm not saying it was, overnight. There's still days I have where I don't really trust myself or I'm second guessing myself. So it's definitely something that is taken a lot of work and a lot of repetition. But just trust yourself and I trust that I know that if I keep showing up with heart, that God's going to meet me halfway. And whether you call it God, the universe, your gut, game day grit, but Trust in you, and trust that it's going to be met halfway. I also learned something that I've just taken to calling the tread and trust method. Tread water. You don't have to sprint. You don't even have to swim forward. Keep yourself afloat, but just do like one small thing a day that keeps your dream alive. Whether it's prayer, brainstorming, voice memos. I myself am pretty big on journaling. But you definitely need to trust. Trust that the tides always turn. Trust that the season will shift. Trust that even if no one sees you yet, it doesn't mean that your story is over, that your next chapter isn't already being written. And that right there, that's when the shift starts to happen. But most importantly, you gotta rewrite that inner commentary in your head. I literally changed my thought process from, what's the point, to, hold on, what's possible? And I'm telling you, the sky is the limit with the things you can achieve. Name where you are without shame. Avoiding or denying the feeling of being stuck just makes it last longer. But owning it, that takes the power back. The voice in your head becomes the story you live. Flip your self-criticism into curiosity. Instead of thinking, man, why can't I figure this out yet? I don't know, maybe try, what's one thing I haven't tried yet? Just switch your perspective. If you're a mantra kind of person, I've got 2 for you to use. The first, I'm not failing, I'm pausing, and I get to decide what happens next. The second is progress, not perfection, movement, not mastery. Stagnation often disconnects us from our deeper reasonings for doing things. So if you're a journal person like me, or if you want to send me a voice memo of you answering this next question, you can shoot me a DM on any of the Halftime Girl socials. Any of the Halftime Girl socials. You can send me an email. I read all of my emails. If you want to keep it between me and you, feel free to. But just ask yourself this question. If no one was watching, what would I want to do just for me? Using these tools will help you navigate the sea of stagnation so well that you'll be on the shoreline sooner than you know it. Kurt didn't know that his second half would be so legendary. He just kept showing up. And when the lights came back on, he was ready. And so are you. Like the chapters you didn't see coming, your story has more twists, lessons, and triumphs ahead than you realize. Now let's go win the second half. Next episode, we're going to be talking about how to rediscover your essence, that very thing of being that makes you, you. I want to thank you for listening today. If this episode resonates with you, make sure you subscribe on our Spotify, because you won't want to miss a thing. If you feel like you know somebody who could use this, go ahead, share it. Share the Halftime Girl Beehive, which for the time being is going to be the hub for emails to keep you updated on our journey. So just make sure you subscribe there as well. Again, no spam, no annoying emails, just little things to keep you in the know. The socials are also going to be linked, so just give a follow while those get up and running. Before long, there's going to be a Halftime Girl website. Everything is currently working, so stay tuned because our journey through halftime is just beginning. Until then, Halftime Girl out.